I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona testified before the House Education and Labor Committee last week. In wide-ranging questions, Representative Joe Wilson asked Cardona about charter schools and school safety. The South Carolina Republicans specifically wanted to know if money schools received from COVID aid could go to school security. This comes after 19 children and 2 adults were killed in the Uvalde Elementary School shooting last week. Listen in for Cardona's response.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Secretary. Thank you for being with us today, and I'm grateful for your service. My wife is a teacher, and so we have a great appreciation of the profession, and our sons have only done well because of teachers who really gave them the opportunities to learn math and science that they could not learn at home. So best wishes to our educators. With that in mind, during COVID-19, charter schools use their flexibility and autonomy to meet the specific needs of their community. And over the first year of the pandemic, South Carolina saw 7 new charter schools established as nationwide student enrollment grew. Mr. Secretary, what are you doing to highlight the importance of family choice of flexible education opportunities during this critical time?
Thank you for that, Congressman Wilson, and thank your wife for her service to the profession. So, it's really important that parents have options. And what we've done is we're requesting the same funding and not cutting any funding for that. And we're highlighting schools that are successful, including public charter schools who have done a good job engaging students and finding innovative ways to help students achieve.
Hey, thank you very much. And I need to brag about my wife again. She taught at an alternative school. So, Mr. Secretary, these are giving young people a second chance who really in the old days would have not had. And so it was so exciting to see these young people give it one more chance. And many of them actually succeeded with extraordinary encouragement from educators. Mr. Secretary, I'm also grateful that I led a letter from 38 members of Congress to the Committee on Appropriations requesting strong support for the charter schools programs FY23. And I'm concerned that the federal charter schools program would receive level funding under the Biden administration budget when overall spending on education programs would increase over 40%. In South Carolina, 42% of the state's charter school students are participating in free and reduced lunch program. What are your plans to increase the accessibility to charter schools for students and parents seeking this option?
Again, we're going to continue to support charter schools, and we know that they are eligible for grants. That while we didn't cut funding, we know that the proposed increases would benefit charter schools as well. And as I said before, we want to make sure that we're providing options for families, including high quality public charter schools, which, I can tell you from my experience in Connecticut, some of the schools that we highlighted when I was commissioner were charter schools, public charter schools that did exceptional work, getting high achievement for students. So I do recognize, similar to what you mentioned with your wife, the alternative schools, there are different ways to reach students, and it's important that we embrace all of them.
And finally, this may have already been asked, but with the COVID funding, nearly 25% of the $190 billion, only 25% has been used. Could this be used to address the security concerns that can be addressed to affect what occurred this week?
Thank you. Yeah, so we know the American Rescue Plan dollars were critical to get our schools safely reopened. The focus is providing mental health supports in our schools, increasing that due to the impacts of the pandemic. And obviously, as you mentioned earlier, the importance of science and math and making sure academically our students are caught up. Indirectly, crises like the one that we just experienced this week, if additional mental health supports are available, they can help the community. The funds are intended to help recover from the pandemic.
As the former president of Mental Health Association, I really appreciate your referencing this. And with that, I yield back. And thank you, Mr. Chairman. We appreciate Virginia.
Thank you.